everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today it's a book haul video. I have this huge box that I shopped for yesterday. I went to a book fair yesterday. The fair itself was not the best. They did say they had a lot of books, but because of rain, they were not able to display all of them, which is why we did not get a view into all of their selection. And I could not find a lot of authors that I knew. They only had classics, crime, thriller, and I think fantasy displayed, and rest I think there were no other genres that I could find. They were there somewhere in the mix and match, but as a display many of the other genres were missing, and I did not recognize a lot of authors, which is why I focused on buying a lot of classics. They had a lot of older editions of classics which I was not able to find on Amazon, and I really like used books, especially with the ones that have previous users notes on. So yes, I picked a lot of classics, some of which I've heard, some of which I haven't, but I think it will be good, so I've just picked it up. I have, I think, at least 60% of the books I have not heard of before. So it is really a gamble that I've done here. But if you have read any of these books and if you've liked it, hated it, either way, let me know in the comments so that I can start reading accordingly. I don't even know how many books I have. So let's get started. So basically it was this sort of book fair where they had two size of boxes. One was 1500 and another was 2500, and you can take away as many books as you can fit in the same amount. So we tried our best to fit maximum number of books. I'll start with the classics. Most of these are used books. Some of them are new, but they're still like old, and that's why the pages are a bit like yellowy. But I love such books. I love old books. So the first book that I got was A Pair of Blue Eyes by Thomas Hardy. Of course, I've heard about the author, but I've never read books by Thomas Hardy, and I've not heard this particular book. But this is a cute, small, classic book. Most of the classics are a very cute, small book, and with a cover. I don't think it gets published any longer. I really like this cover, and I just, I know the author, so I just got the book hoping it would be good, but I've not heard of the specific book. The second that I have is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Again, this is a used book, probably, or a very old version, as you can see from the cover. So I've read many of Jane Austen's books, and I usually like her books. So this is one that I did not have in my collection. So this is the second book. A really, really big book, Gone with the Wind. I have heard a lot about this book. I have friends who've read this book, but I have never bought this book. It has always been on my really, really future TBR. I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I know I definitely want to read it. And this is a 1992 edition. And as I said, all of these are really old editions, and I love them. So that's why I bought this book. This is the third book, pretty huge. The fourth book that I bought was another Penguin Classics, The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper. I have not heard about this book, not heard about this author, but again, usually I do like classics. So this had a really cute cover. Someone has really kept it well, and I love the cover. And I don't know how many times I can repeat, but there are many books that I've bought just because they are older editions and they have such covers. And as per the book fair owner, these are apparently all the imported books, um, older used books. And yeah, this is such a cute book, and I want to read or start any of these books as early as possible. The next book is another classic by D.H. Lawrence, Women in Love. Again, I have heard about the author, not about the book, because I've not read any books by this author, so I've not come across the works by these authors as well. So, again, another Penguin classic. The next book is by Charles Dickens, The Pickwick Papers. I have heard about this book. I have read books by this author. Again, it's an older edition, and yes, another classic. Then another one by Charles Dickens. This is Bleak House. I have not heard about this book, but this is a very good edition. I think this is a 1985 edition. Again, I am obsessed with old books, old editions, old covers, old prints. I just love them. Uh, it is sometimes boring to read old edition and such small fonts, but I think I'm going to enjoy this. Another feminine classics, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Now, Jane Eyre is something that I've already read and I already own a copy of this, but some random new version. This seems to be really old. It's again a 1985 version. Even though I have this one, I picked it up because it's a really small, cute copy, and it also has notes. So I have not found any other book with notes on. I definitely had to buy it, and I am so excited to reread it and because I have mostly forgotten the story, as well as I would love to see the notes that the previous reader has taken. The last book. So this is a really small book. It's called Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. I just wanted a quick read and I just picked it up because it is small, it is cute, it is another classics, and I could fit into the box an extra book. I have another classics. This is Dombey and Son by Charles Dickens. It's another Wordsworth classic. I guess I've repeated enough. I love the cover. I love the edition. So this is another classic. I don't know when I'm going to read so many classics, but I know I am going to read it at some point in my life. So I just bought it when I could. Uh, the next book is the Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. I have recently read The Secret of Secrets this year. Last year, I read Origin. And quite a while ago, I read Angels and Demons and The Da Vinci Code as well. This is a book I have not read yet. So, yeah, I bought this, The Lost Symbol. It was a great deal when it comes with the box. So this is another book. This is a book that I really know. This is the author that I really have read a lot of books of, and I can tell you already that this is going to be a great book. Other books, I know they're classics, but I have never read most of these authors. I've never heard most of these titles, so I don't know how they're going to be. But I am still super happy to have such a great deal and that I got to buy so many books yesterday. So now the next set of books, these are the books I have never seen, never heard of. These are the authors I have never heard of. This is a total gamble, and these are not classics as well. These are just random thrillers, murder mysteries, and things like that. I just bought them based off covers. So it could be a total hit or miss. The first one is The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. So the book looked really nice and usually, I do like thrillers, even if I don't end up giving 5 stars. I enjoy reading them. So, I am hoping all of this would be good, but I have absolutely no clue. This is the first book. Second is by Ian Rankin, In a House of Lies. Again, another book, another author I've never heard of, and I just like the cover and I bought it. And the next book, this is the cover I love the most. It's called The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. Look at the cover. It looks like it has something to do with ghosts and murders and magic. And just based off that, I bought this book. I have no idea again. So, all the next books, I have no idea. I've never heard of this author. I have never heard of this book. So, it's a big gamble. Then the next one is by Giles Brandreth. It's called Oscar Wilde and the Candlelight Murders. Again, bought this book based off the covers, and it looks like a murder mystery. So, yeah. And the last one, again, a very pretty cover. So, it's called A Week in Winter by Maeve Binchy, and I am excited to read this. So, that was all. Let me see how many books I bought. I have five of the very unknown murder mysteries. Uh, then I have The Lost Symbol. So 6 books here in the mystery thriller kind of area. Then I have 10 classics. In total, I got 16 books for a 2500 box. So I am really hoping all of these, or at least 60% of the books, would be good and I would really enjoy reading them. Let me know if you have read any of these books, especially these ones, because As I said, I've never heard of them. It would really help me to pick my first book. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.